What's going on, guys? How y'all doing this morning? At least this morning here. Well, first off, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I hit, talking about, I think 344 right now. I never really thought that I would get this many, to be honest with you, and I'm hoping that one day I can look back and be like, man, remember that time I only had 344 subscribers? But yeah, that's actually kind of been a little bit humbling because I am no actor. I don't have the face or the voice for it. That's just what I love to do, and I love to share it with other people. But anyhow, today I'm going to review my Shimano Tranx 400. This baitcaster I bought 2 years ago. I've used it 2 entire seasons. This is actually my 3rd year to use it. And I use it exclusively at the beach. We usually go about 3 or 4 times a year. I've used it out in a boat, and I've used it a lot surf fishing. This is my go-to surf fishing rod. I did a video last year. I caught a black tip shark. He's probably a 4.5, 5 foot shark that I caught on this reel and rod. And so far, that's the biggest fish I've caught on it. It really, really surprised me at how it handled that shark. I've caught some big redfish. I mean, 10, 15 pound redfish on it. And it's done extremely well. But the shark, being able to get that shark to the beach with this thing, it amazed me. The reel weighs 12 ounces. It's a heavy reel, it's big. I don't know if y'all can really see, but you know, compared to my hand, I mean, it is a very large, big bait caster. The profile, it looks just like a Curado, and it fits right in the palm of your hand really nicely. To be as big a reel as it is, I can palm it, fish with it. But it is big, and it is fairly heavy. Now, if you're using a big rod, this rod right here is a 7'9". This is a Dobbins, a 7'9" heavy action rod. So the rod itself, you know, is long. It's a lot of rod, and it actually balances really well. I really can't complain about how it feels fishing with it. One reason why I chose a baitcaster, I've always been a baitcaster guy. And all the bass fishing I've done over the years, I've always preferred a baitcaster to a spinning reel. That's not typical of what you see at the beach. Nearly every surf fishing guy down there has got a big, 10-foot surf rod with a spinning reel on it. And those, I've got several of those as well, as you can see. I mean, they've all got their place. What I really like about a baitcaster at the beach is when I'm throwing, like this rod right here will handle a big 2 ounce spoon like it's nothing. It casts it really well, really far, but you don't have to worry about line twist. Whereas with a spinning reel, I mean, you can get out there and just be hammering fish that are just going crazy, and all of a sudden you get a wind knot and just blow all your line out of your reel, and end up with this giant mess you're having to fix. With this, you don't have to worry about that. That is, I mean, if you're a fishing and throwing a bait caster, the adjustments on this reel, the side plate twists and comes off. Which is a little bit different than some of the other Shimanos, but you can see this plate pops right off of here, and it's got the same adjustment as the other Shimano reels where you pop the little plastic pieces out, which, as far as dependability, it works really good for backlash control. But on my old reels, I have had some of those break. So I kind of wish, Shimano would come up with something a little bit different on that, but for right now it works okay. Like I said, this is my 3rd year with this reel, and it's still as smooth as it was when I bought it. When I get home from the beach, I always take it apart, clean it, oil it, and I keep reel butter is what I actually keep in the reel, keep it greased up. But moving on to the next thing, the drag system. It's got an 18-pound max drag system, and there are some reels out there that go up to 22, 25 pounds, and I don't see how you would ever need that. I've got 20-pound Andy line on here, and with this 20-pound line and an 18-pound drag, I was able to slow that shark down and turn him. Surprisingly, with the 20-pound test, I mean, I'm glad I didn't break my line, but Andy is very, very strong line. I really like it for saltwater. And an 18-pound drag, if I had had any more drag, I would have either snapped my line or my rod. I mean, 18 pounds, I didn't have the drag maxed out, and was able to stop that shark. So it is plenty. You can get these, if I'm not mistaken, I think they make them with a regular reel handle on them instead of this power handle. I bought the power handle because I thought it would come in handy, especially when you've got a big fish on. It's just got a good grip, good feel to it, and I have actually liked it. I'm glad I've got this instead of the other one. One thing about the power handle, when you go to cast, if you've got this handle backwards or just up like that, when you throw, the weight of that handle, since it's offset, will actually sling forward, and it can engage your reel during the cast, which can break your line, all kind of junk, make you, hit somebody in the face with your lure. But what I like to do is, before each cast, I'll wind my reel up where the handle is facing parallel with the rod. And then when you go to cast, the handle can't go anywhere, and that works great. It's just something you got to keep in mind. When I first bought the reel, man, it was aggravating me, so I kept getting so mad until I just finally figured out, you know what, I'll just put that reel handle forward. When I cast, you don't have any issues. Gear ratio on this one, which this one's a 400 HG. Gear ratio on this one is a 7.6 to 1. The line capacity, this one holds 160 yards of 20-pound monofilament, which is plenty of line for anything I do from land, from the beach. Holds 170 yards of 65-pound braid if you decide to go with braid. One thing I don't like about braid fishing from the beach is if you do get a really heavy fish like a shark, if it takes the line out past that sandbar, sand and shells and all on the sandbar can cut that braid, very easily. I've had it happen several times and ended up switching to monofilament and haven't had any trouble since. Going back to the rod, like I said, this is a Dobbins Fury Series rod. It's a FR795SB is the numbers on this one. It's a 7'9", 15 to 30 pound, 1 to 5 ounce, medium heavy, fast action. And it's like I said, it's just got a great backbone to it. I like the flex too. The tip has got a little bit of flex to it, but the backbone goes on up past the center of the rod. So when you get those really big fish on, especially from the beach, you've got current to deal with and all else, it helps you really pull them back, not have to worry about your rod bending all the way down to the reel seat. I've got it wrapped in wind grips on the handle. I don't like foam or cork when I'm fishing from the beach. I really like that wind grip on there. But I would say, all in all, I give this reel like a thumbs up. It has done what I was hoping it would do. Reel costs just over $300, and for that kind of money, I really was expecting a lot out of it because I hated spending that much. But after catching a few jacks last several years, and I'm out there throwing a 200 Curado, and I've caught a lot of fish on them, but there's been a couple of different 20-pound Jack Crevalles I caught that I'm running down the beach trying to keep from getting spooled. It's just not enough reel. And if you're going to throw a bait caster, you just can't go with the 200. Not when you're trying to catch fish that are 20 plus pounds. But anyway, hope that y'all like this video. Maybe this will give somebody some insight as to whether or not they want to purchase one of these. I'd highly recommend it. Like I said, this is going to be going on my 3rd season. So I haven't had the reel that long, but it has been through the test. It's got in some really big fish and done a lot of saltwater fishing. And so far, so good. So anyway, if y'all like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate y'all subscribing, and we'll see y'all next time.